Shalom, blessed afternoon, blessed afternoon. I feel great, I feel amazing. 54 days on Semen retention. I feel amazing, the energy's unbelievable. Man, I feel great. I feel amazing, man. I feel on top of the world. But I wanted to talk about a spirit download I got from the Most High Creator on Semen retention. And I don't want to come off intimidating or unstable. I'm very stable. I'm very calm-minded, stable-minded, very laid-back brother. But before I get into that topic, I want to talk about today. I was not scheduled for work, so I mowed the grass. I stayed home, mowed the grass, cut the bushes a little bit outside, trimmed it. So I was keeping myself productive, so I'm kind of covered with sweat. Obviously I got the glow. Excuse me. Obviously I got the glow. I'm on Semen retention. 54 days on Semen retention, you just feel unbelievable. You wake up early in the morning, you got to be doing something. You got to be channeling the energy. The energy is unbelievable. I feel like I'm 17 or 18 years old, but I'm a 31-year-old black man. The energy is unbelievable. The youth, the explosive energy. You feel like it's unbelievable, like a Superman effect or something on Semen retention. But anyways, let me get straight to the point about this spirit download I got from the Most High Creator. So there was a spirit download about, so when a man is on Semen retention, you got two types of dudes. You got one who produces more Y sperm, and you got the other dude who produces more X. Every man produces both. Every man produces both, a Y and an X. So every man has a chance of having a son or a daughter. So every man produces both. But how the Most High Creator designed man is some men like me produce more Y sperm, so a higher incline to have sons with women, to impregnate women with sons. And then some men produce more X sperm, so have a higher incline to produce more daughters. That's it. But every man produces both. Every man produces both. But there's a ratio. Some men produce more of this sperm than the other. And I'm going to tell you this. When you are on semen retention, the source of the power does not come from the semen. It comes from the sperm, the seed. The seed is where the life is. The Most High Creator created man to produce the seed. So that's where it's at. So depending on what kind of sperm you produce, if you produce more Y sperm or more X sperm, the results will be different. I'm going to tell you my results. I'm going to tell you how war operates as a black man. We as black men, the day we were born in America, we're already in a war zone. That does not have to be a war zone like Iraq or Iran or Afghanistan or Vietnam. That's war. Yes, correct. That's war, but wars can be expressed differently. You have psychological warfare, you have supremacy warfare, and you have physical warfare, which is Vietnam, Iraq, Iran. You have Russian and Slavic wars, the Ukrainian, Russian, Slavic wars. You have all these wars going on, and that's physical war. That's physical. That's using weapons and guns and going to war with other nations and nuclear weapons and all that. But there's different types of wars. And so as black men, we're born into a war zone already against supremacy, more of a supremacy war of white supremacy or oppression. But, I'm not demonizing white people. I'm not demonizing them. There's a lot of good white people I know at work who have been very kind, very understanding, good-hearted people that love helping people. So I'm not going to generalize. I'm not a prejudiced person. I'm not a discriminating person. There's good people in every race: Hispanics, white people, Arabs, biracials, black people. It don't matter about skin color. There's good-hearted people in every race. So don't discriminate. But we do live in a white supremacist country, and so the men, by the way, the men who produce more daughters, I'm gonna tell you their advantages. They have higher charisma, magnetism. They have way more game with women. They can always get laid left and right. They can seduce women very quickly. So they are the ones that lose their virginity very early, probably in high school or middle school. They have a lot of sisters, so they are men who don't have brothers, who only have abundance of sisters, and they have two or three, at least two sisters, if not more. And those are the men who produce daughters, and they can sing well. So this is an evolution adaptation when the fathers had to sing to their daughters to put them to sleep. This is a trait of men who produce more daughters, and they're the least likely to survive war. They have a higher chance of getting deleted in war, taken out, X'd out from war. Prime example, Malcolm X. I love Malcolm X. I respect the man, but he was a man who produced a lot of daughters. And an advantage of men who produce a lot of daughters, they are wonderful debaters. They always win debates. They can argue. Arguing is a woman's trait. I don't argue as a man. If a woman starts an argument with me, I tell her, you right, I'm wrong, and just leave it alone, move forward. But you got men who know how to win arguments because they grew up with sisters, arguing with their sisters their whole life. So they become excellent debaters. They win every time. They prove the other debater wrong all the time. Rap the News was one of them. Nobody can beat him in a debate. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe Rap the News had more daughters than he had sons. I think he had 2 sons and 3 daughters or something, 4 daughters. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not saying it's true. But it seems like by watching his content, he had more daughters than sons. May he rest in peace in the kingdom above. But that man won debates. He was good with his words and arguments and all that. I'm a terrible argumentative person. I can't argue. I don't even like to argue. So if a dude starts arguing with me, eventually I'm going to start fighting. Let's fight, forgive, move forward, move on. That's my nature, because I have a brother. So, as a 31-year-old man, some dude starts an argument, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to walk the other direction, move forward, and don't bother him again. But if it's a consistent pattern, consistent, like the dude just keeps bitching and arguing, I'm going to eventually just put him to the ground, knock him out or slam him to the ground. Because I grew up with a brother, so that's what men do when they have brothers. You fight, shake hands, forgive, squash the beef, and move forward and help your brother out again. But that light is being taken out because of feminism and all that kind of stuff. So I don't want to get into that topic. But, the men who die in war are the ones who produce a maximum level of daughters, genetically. The men who produce more sons are the ones who survive war and come back home from, let's say, Iraq, Iran, Vietnam, or any war zone. They always come back from war to see their families. Those are the men who survive war, the ones who produce more sons. It's not the men who produce more daughters. And this is just my theory. I think it's because they put themselves out in the open. They get arrogant, boastful. They get boastful. They get arrogant. They talk a lot in war zone. They don't stay focused or cool under pressure, which puts them out in the open for the enemy to snipe them or do something to them. They always put themselves out in the open. Malcolm X was one of them. Many men who had daughters, they always put themselves out in the open. They are more arrogant and more boastful and more, they got to prove themselves more. And so they are the ones that die more very swiftly, very quickly. They get canceled out quickly. They get deleted off this matrix very quickly. And there's even a scientific fact, the men who come back from war, who survive war, are the ones who bestow the most boys, the sons, and less likely to have daughters. That's a scientific fact. So I don't want to rant too much about this, but I'm designed by the Most High Creator to produce more boys. I have to get back to work, help my dad out in his house, cut the grass, mow the grass. But, in the end of the day, when you on semen retention, you're going to break out of this matrix reality. Just praise the Most High Creator, obey His laws, statutes, and commandments, and remain celibate, if you will, an Israelite man, for the glory of the Most High Creator. Shalom, have a blessed rest of your day, think positive, and peace.